Hello and welcome to our Fall 22 third edition of Nittany Watch. I'm Mitchell Carson.
And I'm Shayna McLaren. Nittany Watch is our student-produced digital magazine show bringing you news, sports, and information from Penn State Harrisburg and the surrounding region.
During each program, we will present an in-depth look at the people, places, and events that make Penn State Harrisburg and the Susquehanna Valley a great place to call home.
On today's show, we'll take a look at how international students spend their winter break.
We'll also enjoy some Christmas music from the Penn State Harrisburg Campus Band. And
Kylie Altland will join us for her sports report.
Before we head into the show, I want to remind everyone that the latest edition of our Blue and White Journal student newspaper can be found in newsstands around campus.
You can also find it and many other great sources of information, including the show, on our website at pshblueandwhitejournal.com.
Now to our show. Shayna, I can't believe it's our final week. Time passes quickly.
Oh, I am not sure people are ready for finals, but I'm sure that some are ready for the winter break.
Same for me. I do notice with the effect brought by COVID, many international students on our campus have a variety of plans for winter break.
Let's hear from them about their winter break.
Diversity. A characteristic that fully demonstrates the values appraised by universities in the United States has also presented itself in the campus of Penn State Harrisburg. For the students in PSH, it is very easy to encounter someone who has an entirely different background and be friends with them. And for international students, they have some stories to share to PSH.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Werner, and I came from Germany, but I'm from Slovakia.
My name is Sulin Chung. I'm an international student from South Korea.
My name is Shayla. I'm from Taiwan.
I really like it here. It was difficult getting registered at first and getting everything set up, like my phone number, and just moving here in general, because obviously I had to move all of my things across the continent. But the experience so far has been pretty good, and I do like all of my classes and the people here.
Here I get to experience a lot of people from different cultures, and I get to know about other cultures and meet friends from different countries. Yeah.
Really different from the things I learned in high school in Korea. Like, I was really bored when I learned in Korea, but here it's really interesting to gain some knowledge.
It was very different because people didn't speak English as much around me, obviously, and also it was just less diverse there where I was. So coming here and seeing all of the diversity and having all of the options for majors and classes is a big change, which is part of the reason I came here.
But at that time we just had very few international students. As our international student population has grown, our office has expanded quite a bit. So it really started to grow in like 2014, 2015.
We have several events for them. First of all, we have the International Welcome Week for students, where every students, they get leaders, orientation leaders, and they help them to get oriented to the campus, what are the different departments and services. And apart from that, we have a GLM program, that is the Global Lion Mentors program, where those new international students who register to become mentees, they get mentors. So the mentors are the seniors who help the international students to settle down, like help them with finding for accommodation and then resources that is readily available for them around. Just they help them to acculturate in the new host country.
Most of my friends are from here or they either grew up here. I share mostly food because I like to cook, and sometimes I would make food and I would invite my friends to come over to my place, and that's how I share my culture with them.
I made native friends. I think I am hanging out with native friends more than Korean students here because I pay tuition here. I would like to make more variety of experiences, so I hang out with lots of Native Americans.
When you're here, you have to find people to talk to. You have to get yourself out there. You have to fight for your chances.
I met a lot of people from the area that can tell me what's nearby and they're all really nice people. Well, I brought some snacks and foods from Germany and Slovakia, so I have those that I've shared, and they really enjoy them.
Sometimes, like, when I eat only American food, or like when I cannot eat any Korean food, I sometimes miss Korea.
That has been an increasing issue over COVID these past few years and dealing with that. We, as an office, very much advocate for flexible housing options for our students. And we also, for students who choose to stay locally over the breaks, we do want to provide activities and options for them to get together, to have fun, to have new experiences.
During my winter break, I'm not sure yet because plane tickets are expensive, but I think I'll go with my roommate to go with her family, and just since she lives nearby, it would be easier and they will gladly take me in, so that's what I plan on doing.
Yes, I do. I'm actually traveling to Chicago to see my friends.
I would say get to know us as an office, get to know our staff, our student coordinators. We have so many opportunities and resources here for international students. We really want to see you all be successful, and we want to support you and get to know you in your journey here on our campus.
Winter break is a good time for our students to recollect energies and expand their interests. So it is important to have a good plan to rest well.
Oh, absolutely. We encourage international students who have the needs to reach out and make more connection with our International Students Office. For more information, please visit the official website of the International Student Office in PSH or visit E131 in the Olmsted Building.
Of course, you realize there is something we have to do before the break.
Yeah, unfortunately, as we all know, December brings finals.
I've got to tell you, I'm dreading finals for a couple of my classes.
Same here. But we have something that might help. Reporter Matt Wincoop and I scoured campus for tips and tricks to survive this upcoming finals week.
With finals about to begin for students across campus, there may be renewed stress or anxiety when it comes time to take exams. There are many different resources throughout campus that can help alleviate any negative feelings students may have about finals. The library has great resources for students to take advantage of. For one, there are extended hours through December 16th, so students can have some extra study time. The library is open from 2 p.m. to midnight on Sundays, 7:30 a.m. through midnight Mondays through Thursdays, and 7:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Fridays. Saturday, December 3rd's hours are 10 a.m. to 6 p.m., and Saturday, December 10th's hours are 10 a.m. to midnight. The Lion Study Space and Morrison Gallery are also open 24/7. There will be an event called Distress at the Haynes Library during finals week where students can relax and take a break from studying. There will be coloring books, crosswords, and more. Emily Moras, Associate Librarian at the Madeline L. Haynes Library, gives more information to students about the library's resources.
So the library has a selection of textbooks, so if you need to review those materials to study for final exams, you can check at the front desk to see if we have the textbook for your class. We also have our 24-hour spaces, the Lion Study Space and the Morrison Gallery, so if you have a loud roommate or you need some place to study after hours, you can use those spaces. The library will be open until midnight every day except for this Saturday until the end of finals. We'll have our de-stress party on the first floor, so we'll have coloring and snacks and things like that to help you relax.
The Learning Center is also a great resource for students to take advantage of. Tutors are available for anyone who needs assistance with their classwork. The Learning Center also provides academic success coaching. Tutoring is split into two parts, writing and peer tutoring. Damian Calger, the assistant director at the Learning Center, gave his advice to students preparing for finals as well as some additional resources available at the Learning Center.
Academic success coaching can help students specifically for finals with test-taking strategies. The academic success coach does a lot of different things, but I think for finals specifically, getting help with that test anxiety that students have, the coach can help with that. We also have writing tutors. There are 6 of us who are writing tutors. We're professionals. We're professionals, meaning we all have at least a master's degree in writing or a writing related field. So if students are about to submit final papers, now is the time to book with us. Being okay, kind of swallowing your pride and saying, yes, I'm going to need help with test anxiety. I think that's a really important thing to acknowledge and say, hey, this is going to be kind of stressful going into, and meeting with an academic success coach.
For students with accommodations, the Disability Office has a few areas of support during finals, especially for exams.
So our testing center is operational through all of finals. So any students with any type of testing accommodations can schedule appointments with us to take their final exams in our testing spaces. So as long as a student has registered with our office and has approved accommodations for testing, such as extended time on tests or any need for assistive technology, they can schedule an appointment with us. We actually are using a computer lab in Student Enrichment Center 202. We've been using that more regularly this semester. It's right across the hall from our suite. So it helps just with a lot of logistical things on our end. But it's also a larger space so we can accommodate more students for finals. But then we also use Olmsted E203.
For students who have accommodations that allow for an alternate testing location for whatever reason, the Disability Office has a form available to arrange for alternate testing. Visit harrisburg.psu.edu/student-disability-resources and click on the link for Student Request for Proctored Exams. Forms for finals need to be submitted by December 7th. Even when factoring out studying and final exams, the end of a semester is a stressful time.
I like to encourage students to, instead of saying, I have to study for this, I have to do that, I want to and I deserve to. I want to study for this exam. I want to take this exam because once it's over and I feel good about it, that is going to boost my mood. That is going to boost my self-esteem. And I love feeling that way.
Counseling and Psychological Services, located on the 2nd floor of the SEC, is well aware of the strain placed on students at this point in the semester. But Counselor Megan Tanner has a few tips up her sleeve for when things get overwhelming.
You know, if you are starting to feel uncomfortable while in the classroom, you can stop and practice mindfulness. One of our all-time favorites is the 5-4-3-2-1 method. That's naming 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can smell. Go through the senses. You can use colors, name 5 blue things, 4 purple things.
While it's late in the semester to sign up for counseling, CAPS will continue to offer services into the new year. Students can call 717-948-6025 to schedule an appointment, or drop by the CAPS office in SEC 205.
That really helps. Any other advice?
If you're looking to take a break during finals week, don't forget to check out events happening as part of De-Stress Fest. Some things you'll find on finals week include massages, crafts, and even therapy dogs.
To all our fellow students, best of luck with finals. We know you'll do great. We'll be right back after this message.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back. You know, it's been a while since Halloween was celebrated this year, but for the photography students at Penn State Harrisburg, They like to share how they see the world through their lenses.
Though Halloween season has passed, it is still exciting whenever people bring up the mystic and the amusement of this special festival. For this year, Professor Tweldy of the Communications Department presented to Penn State Harrisburg a series of Halloween costume photo shoot to celebrate the festival and to participate in the atmosphere.
Well, this photo shoot is part of the Com 215 Introduction to Basic Photography course that we teach here at the communication program. And this particular project is related with taking portrait photographs. This one in particular has to do with Halloween costumes, because it happens around the time of the year when there is Halloween in the fall semester, so students come dressed in their Halloween costumes if they're comfortable with it. Otherwise, they also have the option of wearing cultural or clothing that make fashion statements. So this year we had some students who came up with some really nice elaborate Halloween costumes. We also have some students came with sports jerseys. I also liked some students who did some international cultural costumes. Like we have one student, Arit Gandhi, who brought along his Indian friend, and she came dressed in her cultural dress, and that was one of the best photos of the shoot. My hope is that the students enjoy the process of making portraits, because portraits should tell a story. They should capture the essence and the identity of the people being portrayed. So it's all about making people feel comfortable and also depicting or representing people in their best light. So that that ability of working with people and having them in a way that helps them to feel better about themselves and to represent their cultures and identity, that was really good. At the same time, it was also good for students to show off their favorite Halloween costumes and have a lot of fun with their schoolmates.
It is wonderful to see Halloween seen through this special art form as its unique culture spreads.
Right after Halloween, the South Central PA Robotics Competition was hosted here at Penn State Harrisburg. Reporter Matt Wiest takes us behind the scenes.
This is Matt Wiest with Penn State Harrisburg Student Media. Today we'll be looking at the South Central PA Robotics Convention held right here at Penn State Harrisburg. The South Central Robotics Convention is an event hosted by our school to promote science, technology, engineering, and mathematics among high school students in the area. It is the 11th consecutive year Penn State Harrisburg has hosted the competition. The event invited a number of schools from the area to have their robots compete with others during the robot showcase. The student-made robots had to compete in challenges that tested their knowledge in coding, as the robot had to complete various trials to earn points for the teams. Some of the trials included one where the robots had to move 3 ping pong balls into holes that were cut into a platform. It was interesting to see the methods being used by these young minds, as some robots would pick the balls up and some students would go with the push method to succeed. Another trial had the robots move the ping pong ball up a slope and deposit the ball on either side of the board at the top. The ball would then go into a Plinko-esque game to determine points distributed to each team. Once again, it was cool to see how the students adjusted their plan along the way to succeed in the trial. My favorite trial was the robot duel, where the students attached balloons to the back of their robot. The trial had simple rules where if your balloon popped, you would lose the match. This particular event was interesting because the students had to have a defensive strategy while also having a great attack strategy to have the most success. Some students had nails in the front, and one group even attached a long and sharp metal rod all around the robot. During my time there, I had the chance to ask Mr. Webb, who is a science teacher at Susquehanna Township High School, all about the importance of an event like this to his high school students.
For high school students, an event like this is perfect for real-world experience for anyone that might be interested in computer engineering, electrical engineering, even mechanical engineering, because they get a hands-on experience. It's challenging, it's different, there's a number of events that they have to work on, and it's perfect for that kind of student that's interested in a STEM career.
I also asked him to explain the process that the students go through to develop robots like this.
They really are capable of working independently. Some of the older students have experience with it. They teach the younger students, and ultimately they come together as a team. They figure out how to code and how to do the different events in a lot of different ways. And beyond coding, there's some physical aspects of how they have to work with the robot to create and make sure it's adapted for the competition.
With that being said, I had an amazing experience being able to go to the robotics event and see high school students put their skills on display.
I didn't know robots could do so much.
Me either. Well, now it's December, which means the holidays are in full swing.
Even though Penn State Harrisburg doesn't have many decorations up, the campus is still in the festive spirit. On Monday the 5th, Chancellor Mason filmed his holiday message for students, faculty, and staff.
This year marks the first time that students were involved in the production of the holiday message. They assembled luminaries set up along Vartan Plaza and lit up the area after the sun went down.
The video is planned to be out later in December, so keep an eye out.
We held another celebration earlier in November.
Yes! Veterans Day is an important holiday that many people across the country celebrate annually. It's no different here at Penn State Harrisburg. The campus held its annual commemoration of Veterans Day on November 11th. I worked with reporter Matthew Wincoop to bring you more on the event.
On November 11th, Penn State Harrisburg commemorated Veterans Day with a celebration in the Morrison Gallery and the library. The event began with the Honor Guard, consisting of Nicole Rosario Flores, Jonathan Spear, Mark Lovell, and Mason Weber. The Honor Guard planted the American flag and led the audience in playing the Star-Spangled Banner. Gonzalo Ingram, chair of the Governmental Affairs Committee at Penn State Harrisburg, was the first speaker. Ingram's speech was centered around expressing respect and gratitude for the veterans in attendance and all veterans in general. He applauded the bravery of these soldiers as well.
I like to call what you all have the warrior gene. That is something a person is born with, something that from day one separates you from an ordinary person. When something happens, you react. Instead of hiding, you rush right into the danger. And that is something that I truly do envy.
Dr. Dale Watson, a retired colonel who served 30 years on active duty as an Army aviator, followed Ingram as the event's second speaker. Watson's speech focused on the countless things veterans do to better the community even after they retire from active military duty. He also stressed the importance of recognizing family members who hold down the fort while their spouses or parents or siblings are serving the country.
Stop on the battlefield. It extends into everyday life of the men and the women that do serve. And more often than not, you can find them conducting operations other than war, such as deterrence missions, peacekeeping operations, humanitarian resistance or assistance, disaster relief, policing. I can go on and on and on about what our servicemen and women are doing on a day-to-day basis. I love that you pointed out that family members get to share in the recognition too, because they're the unsung heroes in my estimation, are the family.
Yvonne Duncan, the third speaker, spent 7 years in the Air Force, leaving the Air Force as a captain. Yvonne used her speech as an opportunity to tell a story about Operation Baby Lift in 1975. Her husband was in the service at the time while she was a volunteer at the Red Cross. Duncan explained what the operation was.
So fast forward to what is Operation Baby Lift? It was a mass evacuation of orphans from Saigon or Vietnam to the United States. It was President Ford's baby. It was something that he wanted to do. So this particular night, there was also, the war ended, there was a ceasefire in 1973, but Saigon was still bombarded because the North Vietnamese did not honor that ceasefire. So
Finally, the last speaker was April Dembsko, who is currently in her 8th year in the Pennsylvania Air National Guard. She's a 4th-year marketing student at Schreyer's Honors College and works as manager of the We Care food pantry for the Penn State Harrisburg campus. April gave an emotional account of 2 friends she had that tragically took their own lives due to the stress of serving.
This past Monday, my 2 close friends from training school should have turned 26 and 27. But we lost Molly easily to suicide in 2020 while she was still in service in the Air National Guard, and Selena Rock, who had been medically separated from the Army, to domestic violence at the hands of another service member in 2021. So they are forever 23 and 25.
She also highlighted the struggle that current students have while they balance military service with their education. Following the event, April spoke about what Veterans Day means to her and why she believes it's important to continue commemorating veterans.
And on every Veterans Day, it's always important to me to recognize how we can best help everybody, which is something I try to do in my daily life. But making sure that we are doing the best to help others in these groups of students with the best resources that we have. And also every Veterans Day, it's another chance for me to remember the friends that I've lost from my time in service. So it was nice to be able to share my memories of Molly and Selena during the ceremony.
For Penn State Harrisburg Student Media, I am Mitchell Carson.
And I'm Matthew Wincoop.
This was a great way to honor those who serve our country. To all veterans, thank you for your service and your dedication to protecting our country. We'll be right back with Kylie's Sports Report after this message.
So good to see you guys. So, what's up?
Oh, we finally bought a place.
Holy cow.
You seriously have enough saved to do that?
We've been putting a little aside each month.
Jeez, at the end of the month, we have nothing left to save.
Yeah, I have no idea where it goes.
Well, you're spending a lot on...
Was it good?
Oh, God.
Oh, how is my account overdrawn?
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org.
Hi, I'm Kylie Altland, and this is my Nittany Watch Sports Report. In women's volleyball, the Penn State Harrisburg Lions 2022 campaign came to a close on Saturday, October 29th. The Blue and White traveled to Penn College to compete in a tri-match against the host and United East foe Lancaster Bible College. Penn State Harrisburg defeated the Wildcats in 4 sets with respective scores of 25-9, 24-26, 15-25, and 18-25. However, the Lions fell to the Chargers later in the day. Tanira Tubo had 24 kills, while Olivia Koikiba tallied 36 digs during the day. Alyssa Snyder finished with 56 assists after the 2 matches. The volleyball team finished 14-11 overall, going 4-4 in conference. Anna Ruff and Alyssa Snyder earned United East All-Conference second team recognition for their efforts this season. In men's soccer, the Penn State Harrisburg team won the United East Conference for the 3rd consecutive year on Saturday, November 5th. After defeating Lancaster Bible College on Friday, November 4th, the Lions competed against the host, St. Mary's College of Maryland. The Lions defeated the Seahawks in an exhilarating fashion, winning in penalty kicks. After goalkeeper Esteban Leon, who would later be named conference tournament MVP, made a diving save to keep the Lions in the lead 3-1, it all came down to Ben Stuckert. To the Blue and White's delight, Stuckert remained composed and buried his penalty kick in the back of the net. With the victory, the Lions received an automatic bid to the Division III National Tournament. The men traveled to Mary, Washington, and competed against Ohio Wesleyan. Again, it was an exciting game. With just a minute left in regulation and down 1-0, Mark Rogers scored a penalty kick to send the game into overtime. Unfortunately, the Lions fell to Ohio Wesleyan in the 98th minute. In women's soccer, Penn State Harrisburg landed a spot in the championship game by winning their playoff matchup against Penn College 3-2. During that playoff matchup, Sydney Armstrong, Kyla Brossett, and Abby Frew all scored goals for the team in the win. Sydney Malka also had 3 saves on the day to help secure the victory. In the championship game, the team was matched up against fellow Penn State satellite campus Penn State Berks. The game started as a defensive affair that would be tied 0-0. The game went into overtime where the team was outlasted as they would unfortunately go on to lose 3-0. The Lions still had a pretty historic season. They were regionally ranked for the first time in program history and had the most wins in program history, finishing 13-4-3. They also had 2 players earn academic all-district accolades for the first time in program history. Lastly, 3 players became the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th players in program history to earn Region 4 all-region accolades. From all of us at Nittany Watch, congratulations to all the fall sports for their successful seasons. We can't wait to watch everything you accomplish next year. Now on to winter sports. Basketball season is well underway as our men's basketball team holds a record of 4-3 on the season so far. Senior guard Nate Curry leads the team with an average of 14 points per game. He is also shooting 36% from 3 so far this year. Junior guard Zachary Scott III is shooting a staggering 43% from 3 to go, along with 14 points per game this season. The team's next home game is not for a while as it takes place during the next semester, and it is on January 17th against Lancaster Bible. We have a recap of the men's basketball game against Bridgewater presented here by sports reporter Matt Wiest.
On Saturday, November 19th, Penn State Harrisburg men's basketball team hosted Bridgewater University. The game featured a career high for senior guard Chris Hayes as he had 22 points on the day. Hayes had 4 threes to go along with a 22-point total. As a matter of fact, the Lions shot an impressive 44% from downtown on the day. The team's 6th man, Isaiah Eggleston, had 12 points and 6 rebounds off the bench. The big man also had 2 threes as well. The team led for a majority of the game as they went on to win 75-63.
And now on to women's basketball as the team has started 4-4 to begin the year. Point guard Gianni Correa leads the team in points to start the year with an average of 14 points per game. She also has 2 assists per game to go along with that. The team is also led by Candace Butler, who has an average of 12 points per game. The team's next home game is against Lancaster Bible on the 17th of January. Let's take a look at the game recap and highlights for the women's game against Clark Summit presented by Matt Wiest.
On Saturday, November 26th, our women's basketball team matched up against Clark Summit University. The game featured junior guard Siani Red Howard having a career-high performance with 22 points off the bench to lead the way for the Lions. The senior duo of Jayla Galbraith and Candace Butler each had 16 points for the game. Both of them shot 50% from beyond the arc on the day. This game would end with a score of 86-57, with the Nittany Lions cruising to victory.
And of course, intramural sports are also beginning to wind down. In dodgeball, the 4 teams that recently played were Gym Class Heroes versus Moose Knucklers, No Results Gym versus Whiners and Diners, Santa Slayers versus Balls of Flurry, and Abusement Park versus Hurl and Hide. The championship game is scheduled for the end of this week, and you will see the results of the dodgeball championship in our newspaper, the Blue and White Journal, and the newspaper's website, pshblueandwhitejournal.com. Flag football finished their season. Reporters Matthew Wynkoop and Mitchell Carson give us a recap on their season.
Hey, why you sit? Come on.
Following the conclusion of intramural soccer, flag football began its season. The season started with 18 teams with 236 total participants. 7 teams were eliminated, leaving 11 teams battling for the championship. Of the 11 teams, No Results Gym, Casting Couch, Public Enemy, Academic Weapons, and the number 2 seed each earned a first-round bye.
These teams would then make their playoff debut in the quarterfinals, totaling to 4 games played.
The semifinals began with the number 1 seed, No Results Gym, taking on the number 4 seed, and the number 2 seed, Public Enemy, battling against the number 6 seed, OTF.
The top 2 seeds faced off in the championship, with No Results Gym being crowned the champions of intramural flag football.
After the game, Cole Schlenker gave his insight into what led his team to win the championship.
So I think the game went pretty both sides. Usually we can score with these, but today they're really giving us some trouble here. Got a little chirpy in the end. We were all talking, but I think in the end we pulled out because the team sportsmanship stayed good too, and we got the dub.
The final score between the top 2 seeds was 33-14 to seal the deal for No Results Gym as the champions.
For Penn State Harrisburg Student Media, I'm Mitchell Carson.
And I'm Matthew Winku.
Thank you, Matthew and Mitchell, and congratulations to No Results Gym on being crowned the champions. Intramural bowling was in full swing too. Mitchell has their strike on their championship.
Penn State Harrisburg's Intramural Bowling Championship was held at the ABC East Lane Bowling Center on November 16th. The championship round began with Pin Me Down Again against ASMR and Hang 10 versus Kingpin. The first round of championships, Pin Me Down, finished with a total of 466 points, defeating ASMR, that finished with a total of 180 points. After a nearly close battle, Hang 10 finished with a total of 435 points, defeating Kingpin with a total of 408 points.
So we're really happy to win this round. We're ready to advance towards the championships. And I feel like we as a team are ready for this.
After a hard-fought battle, Pin Me Down Again defeated Hang 10 with a total of 506 points from 442 points. Pin Me Down Again came on top and were the winners of the intramural bowling season. And team captain Brian Spivey was excited for his team's victory.
It's been a long season. Of 3 of our team members were here on the winning team last year. We've had some struggles of one of our members has a messed up hand, and I'm just not one of the best bowlers, but we like to come together every game, and we've had a successful season. I believe we went undefeated, and it feels good to be back and win again.
Intramural bowling at Penn State Harrisburg is advised by well-known local pro bowler Darryl Bauer and was satisfied with the results of the season.
It was a great season this year. 10 teams participated. The league got moved from the spring to the fall, so it had a very good turnout. And I was pleased with how everything went. Had a very exciting championship match, and went very good this season.
For Penn State Harrisburg Student Media, I'm Mitchell Carson.
Thank you, Mitchell, and congratulations to the Pin Me Down Again team on their championship title. Well, that is all for sports today. To stay up to date with Penn State Harrisburg Athletics, follow them on all social media platforms at PSHBG Athletics. This will be my last time reporting on Nittany Watch, as I am graduating in a few days. It has been an honor to bring the Penn State Harrisburg community all things sports for this past semester. Thank you. We'll be right back with more Nittany Watch after this message.
I'm very sorry.
Please don't say that. Please don't say that.
Your brother suffered critical head trauma, extensive cerebral hemorrhaging. We did everything we could. I'm sorry we couldn't save him.
It's all my fault. Shouldn't have driven.
You should have left the driving to someone else. The test showed a significant level of alcohol in your blood. We've contacted your family. They should be arriving shortly.
Thanks, Kylie. Mitch, did you get to see the concert band's performance?
I sure did, and I got a front row seat to how it was all put together. Just before Thanksgiving, the music program at Penn State Harrisburg performed a concert, Spirit of Thanks, Spirit of Giving, to kickstart the holiday season. It started with the campus orchestra directed by Dr. Julia Adams.
So the orchestra consists of strings and winds. It's a smaller group. We do more traditional music for the most part, although we mix some other things in from time to time. Some of our instrumentalists also play in the wind band, some don't. And the students tell me that the benefits are that they work together as a team, that it's a very goal-oriented, yet artistic endeavor, and that they feel like they can grow musically and also as a student academically.
The concert band was directed by Jill Graybell.
That participate in our music ensembles. So for most of these students, it's just a chance to be a little more creative and just to have a more fun, lighthearted class, great chance to connect with other students from other majors and just get together doing something that they enjoy, playing music and having a good time with each other. For many of these students, they played in high school and they just want to be able to continue to play and just have that creative outlet in their day.
Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, living in the fire. Go back to the fire, turn the world around. We come from the fire, go back to the fire.
The campus choir was directed by the music director at Penn State Harrisburg, Dr. Adam Gustafson, and he encourages students to come out for the music program.
We come from the water, living in the water. Go back to the water, turn the world around.
To me, music making especially means community. This is a chance for all of us to get together and make something beautiful out of nothing, and that to me is a very special thing. That's why I got into music. My initial attraction to becoming a serious musician was passing by a church with a choir that was singing and just wandering in and going, this is an amazing thing. And so that's really what we try to do here. We try to build community, and we have folks who make friendships for life based on the ensembles that they're in.
For Penn State Harrisburg Student Media, I'm Mitchell Carson.
That was a great performance.
Yes, it was a great way to start Thanksgiving and get us in the mood for the holidays.
Well, that brings us to the end of our show. You can watch our show on the Penn State Harrisburg Student Media YouTube channel, or check out our link on the PSH Student Media website, pshblueandwhitejournal.com.
For a special treat to close the show, let's listen to the campus band perform Need a Little Christmas under the direction of Jill Graybill. For all of us here at Nittany Watch and WPSH TV, thank you for watching.